Uh-huh. See, I had this feeling that it was Saturday, and the next thing I know, I'm standing here looking at the camera, looking at you. Hello, and happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everybody's had a good week. It was a productive week. I got some stuff done. I think I'd mentioned that I had a little, not necessarily repair work. It was more cosmetic than anything on the soffit that I put up last year. So I got that fixed and everything's looking beautiful. And what else? We started getting ready to put a soffit on the garage part, but just on one side. That it's used all the time. So anyway, that's what we've been doing, and we finally made it to today, Saturday, and we're gonna have some meatloaf. Yeah. And I forgot to draw last week. Was feeling a little woozy, so I'm not surprised I forgot. But so I will draw twice today. In fact, how about if I draw one now, and then I'll draw one again towards the end of the stream? What do you think?
Sure.
All right. First, have we got anyone in the room?
Stewie Griffin.
Stewie Griffin. Welcome. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going on then. Oh, hi, Doug Shar, sitting at home. Watching old guy. There we go. So, Basket of Doom. And draw for next week's. This is for next week. Next week's dinner. We got all these suggestions, and boy, then there's a bunch of them in here. All right. So, and then I'll draw again later for week after next, and I'll be back on schedule. Okay, little drum roll. All right. Well. I think I've mentioned this before, and I guess maybe this is one I won't do. It's just I'm not going to buy lobster to make a pizza. So as much as I hate to do that, I'll still make pizza, but it's just not going to have lobster on it. So, and that was Bates Motel requested that one. But I think I did warn him about that. Okay, so New Image Landscape. Happy Saturday. Hope you've had a great week. I'm just going to kind of get started here because the meatloaf's going to take a little while to bake. So I'm going to start with just getting some onion diced up. So, yep. Glad to see the weather starting to become generally warmer and not so cool. Even though it does say that there's going to be some chillier weather coming up, I don't think it's going to be really anything to worry about. Luckily, I think all the cherry blossoms will survive. It doesn't look like there's going to be any hard freezes. That's what kills the blossoms. And if that's the case, then this year we might have quite a bit of cherries.
Yeah.
All right, let's dice a little onion here. All right.
New Image says maybe there, LOL.
Say what?
New Image says maybe there, LOL.
Oh, not so good there? What kind of weather are you? Is it still cold weather. All right. Just kind of dicing this up. Been a little while since we've done meatloaf.
Yep.
So that's going to be kind of fun.
Lisa, hi, calling up Mrs. Old Guy from Wild Man and Lisa. Hope you're feeling well.
I am. Thank you very much. And hello. Happy Saturday. Hello there, Wild Man. It is a pretty nice Saturday here. Well, I think it's maybe like in the 70s today.
Yep.
Mid-70s. Yeah.
And then the next week's going to be up and down in the 60s.
Yeah.
So,
Put my shawl back over here. Let's set this half an onion. Okay. So, meatloaf. I mean, this is about as basic as it gets, but it's also pretty yummy. I was going to go beef and pork, but I decided, let's just make it beef. So just a pound of hamburger meat, or ground beef as we like to call it. And open up these crackers here. If I can get them open. Come on. Are you kidding me? The package is so slippery I can't get my fingers on it. There. That's better. It's like, this is a pack of crackers, right? Alright.
so what did you ask Lisa? I don't know. Just yes. It's good. Just yes, it go. And so.
I don't know. I forget my name if I didn't have it tattooed on my chest. And I do, but I'm not going to show you. Let's put in about a half of this stack. Right. Oh, come on. I was really pleased today that when we went to go get eggs, they actually had some. We get our eggs from some local farms. And the one we've been going to recently, they were out for a little while. I don't know if it was issues with the chickens or they just, all what they were selling would go somewhere else. I don't know, but now I asked Mrs. Old Guy just before the stream about this. Every once in a while, I don't mind some cheese diced up into the loaf. I asked her what she thought about it. She said, well, it'd be all right. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. It's got just some cheddar. I think this is like sharp. Doesn't seem so sharp to me. I think the knife got a beat on that. Okay, dumb joke. We got some peach cobbler coming up for dessert. And we got cheesy risotto for the side dish. And so I'm just going to get this loaf going, and then I'll start the risotto, which will take just about as long as the meatloaf will.
Stewie wants to know when you're going to collab with Val and Janice next.
That's a really good question. Um, I don't have an answer. Wish I did, but it's just we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, I have no idea. Part of it would be all of us being in the same vicinity to start with. So we'll just have to see.
Face the Ace is here.
Face the Ace. Happy Saturday. Thanks for coming in. I'm just chopping up some onion and cheese, some crackers.
Man from the future's here.
Mr. Wales. Howdy. And by the way, for those of you that have had any interest whatsoever, at long last, after, it's been 2 years, finally got the first episode of Myers Crossing on the books. So, should be in a nice rotation now. Once a week, there'll be a new episode of either George and Pudgy, Mason Jennings, or Myers Crossing. So there'll be a new show every week, and Mr. Wales, man from the future, had a role, and this is going to be a good time. Yeah.
He says, huzzah. Jessica's here. Hello. Don't fret, I'm here.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry I missed last week. I had a meatloaf as well.
Yeah. Well, welcome. And it's okay about last week. I don't ever expect somebody to be here. If you're here, fantastic. But life goes on, without old guy or not. So.
Stewie says, so what happened with the hair? Why shave it?
I don't know. It's like, why the beard? And so I guess they're kind of they're opposite. 90% of guys will tell you they have a beard just because they're too freaking lazy to shave it off every day. And and that's my excuse. And then same thing with my hair. Once it gets to the point where, jeez, I gotta comb it and I'm worried about like skeeter wings sticking out on my ears when I have my hat on. So I just pull out the weed whacker and have at it.
He says last video was 11 days ago. You had hair.
I still do. It's just real short.
Jessica says, did you miss my silly questions last week? LOL.
I always miss your silly questions. You bet I did. I look forward sometimes to your humor. All right. A little bit of salt. One farm fresh egg.
Some of those eggs are really big.
Yeah, they are. That would have been considered probably a jumbo.
Yeah.
I really like getting them from around here. All right. Let's get this all mixed in here. This is the fun part. One time and one time only, I tried making a meatloaf with using, what's that really lean, like 95.5 ground beef. That was the worst meatloaf ever. It was so dry. All the egg did was just make it worse. All right.
Jessica says when your hair starts growing back, you should make a mohawk again.
Another ham hock? Alright, I always add a couple tablespoons of milk. That'll really keep it moist. Just having DAMs. Dry ass meatloaf.
And you might mention to everybody what you drew for next week.
Oh, yes. Yeah, last week I didn't draw. So twice today. I just drew a few minutes ago. And it was from Bates Motel. And he requested lobster pizza. I can't do lobster on it, but I can definitely make pizza. So
he just came into the room, so. Did you hear me?
No.
He just came into the room.
Oh, well, Bates Motel. Welcome, happy Saturday. I don't know if you heard what I just said or not, but I drew your lobster pizza, and I can't spend the money to put lobster on a pizza. So I hope you don't mind if we just stick to pizza. If you want, in fact, if you want to give Mrs. Old Guy something else other than lobster, I'll make that. You know, just. You know, it's just I gotta draw my budget line here somewhere on these Saturday meals. All right.
Jessica says you cannot go wrong with meatloaf.
Oh yes, you can. Oh, you bet you can. I've been to places that have just had the worst meatloaf ever. Now, if you know what you're doing, sure. You know, I mean, it's not hard. It's definitely not rocket science, but...
Greg says, I have never made meatloaf. I listened to it. You have inspired me now.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, if you listen to Meatloaf, I'm going to have you suggest that you make a musical sandwich. And so you're going to listen to a song by Bread, and then a song by Meatloaf, and then another song by Bread. And there's your musical sandwich. Musical meatloaf sandwich. All right.
So Jessica wants to know what your favorite episode of Family Guy is. And she hopes you enjoyed your Easter basket this year.
Let's see here. Hang on. What am I doing here? Okay, set timer. We're going to go 45 minutes. Start. Okay, my favorite episode of Family Guy. Boy, I don't know. There's some awfully good ones. Awfully good. Now, what does that mean? It's awful, but it's good. Jeez. I think my favorite one was the syrup of Epicac episode. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I have that kind of humor level pretty baseline. All right.
George has messaged.
Okay.
She's fixing a turkey breast with dressing, mashed potatoes and gravy and corn today, and chocolate cupcakes for dessert.
Oh, that sounds delicious. That sounds absolutely yummy. How about the rest of you guys? What are you all having? Thanks for the reminder, Shar. I appreciate that.
Stewie says, Jessica, if he doesn't have a mohawk by the next weekend, next week's stream, I'm unsubscribing.
Unsubscribing?
I can't
Well,
talk today.
I'm sorry, but you see how short that is? If you think I can grow that long enough for a mohawk in a single week,
Yep, that ain't happening.
you might as well just hit that unsubscribe button right now.
So Bates Motel said, okay, no problem. Feta spinach pizza is fine.
Okie doke. Miss Old Guy, would you write that down, please?
Yep. Greg's laughing. Just don't forget some red hot chili peppers in that sandwich.
Yeah. All right. What'd I do with my, oh heck. That's what I did.
What'd you get?
Well, I was just going to use, no, wait a minute. Let me get my head on straight here. I got to get my shallot cut up here to go. It's got to be in the Zotto. Charlotte.
Greg's having Greek salad today.
Greek salad.
Lisa says, yes, it's cold here in Akron. Jessica says, I could never unsubscribe to you, don't worry.
All right, well, good. Thank you very much. And Jessica, I hope you've subscribed to the Old Guy Radio Players and have listened to some of the stuff that lurks in the mind of the old guy. Okay. And start this off kind of as a classic risotto. Just shallots and a little chicken stock. But at the end, I'm going to use some cheese. Haven't decided if I'm going to stick with the traditional Parmesan. I'm kind of thinking maybe do a cheddar, but in with the Zotto.
That should be good. We haven't done that for a while either.
What's that? No, it's been a bit. Zotto. Let that kind of do its thing for just a second here. All right, and start adding the stock. All right, well, so I get to stand here pretty much and just do nothing but stir this and watch this for the next 35 minutes or so.
Jessica says, I subscribe to everything regarding you. Don't fret, don't fret.
Don't fret. Here, fret. Here, fret. All right then. All right. Well, this is going to be the fun part now. I can tell that the summer projects have started, and only because I spent, I don't know, a couple of hours or so cleaning out the garage, sweeping up all the sawdust and whatnot from last year.
Yeah.
And it's already starting to collect the sawdust from this year. So that's okay. There's not going to be anywhere near as much. And that's a good thing. Gonna have to make use of my sledgehammer and bust out part of a sidewalk that I put in a few years ago. I built it in such a way that it's not safe pretty much at all. So I'm going to rip it out and do it again. And then that'll be it for any kind of construction at all project.
Yeah.
Just that soffit over by the garage, but that's only about 25 feet or 30 feet. Just put it up and be done. It's not, definitely not going to be the ordeal we had last summer.
Jessica wants to know how's the fur babies?
They're doing just fine. They got their walk this morning, so they're happy.
Yeah, sleeping.
Sleeping, yeah. Yep, they're beginning their summer routine.
Drake says nothing better than swinging a sledge to get pent up frustration out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I really don't want to do it, but it's going to be the better thing to do, and I need to do it.
But you're going to use a saw.
Well, I am.
Okay.
I'll cut part of it.
Yeah, I guess
I don't have to
can.
pull out all of what I put, just one part. So I'll buy a masonry blade for my circular saw and cut it and then bust it out. So I'll be busting out actually two parts. Part of what I put in and what was there under part of it. I kind of covered some of it over. There was a sidewalk existing, so I just covered it over. So once I get what I put on there off, I'll have to bust out that stuff too. That's okay. That's going to be the biggest project of the summer. Is just that little, maybe an area like 4 feet by 4 feet.
Yeah.
That I've got to.
Jessica says, random fact, that I got rid of my bed last week. I'm sleeping on an air mattress. I honestly feel more comfortable. Sorry for the random fact.
Oh, that's okay. That's, glad you think it's, I'm glad you like it and it's more comfortable for you. Yes, indeed.
Greg says, did lots of driveway busting when I worked for a concreter as a lackey.
Yeah, I worked for a concrete outfit for a while. A few years. Me and the guy that they hooked me up with, this guy Aniceto. I think he was from the central part of Mexico. Great guy. And him and me teamed up. We were the tear out crew. We did a lot of repairs for like cities, like to repair sidewalks and stuff like that. And so the boss would drop us off with the generator and a big generator air compressor and jackhammer, and we'd just take turns running the jackhammer. Wanted to run the hammer to take a break, because that was the easy part for me. The hard part was moving the concrete that got broke up kind of out away from the rest of the sidewalk, where the guy with the backhoe could come and scoop it up. So
Jessica says, awesome, having a little trouble reaching my Diet Coke. Would you mind reaching it for me?
nope, not at all. Might as well grab your glass while I'm at it. So there you go.
Greg says, concreting is a tough gig.
Yeah. Definitely put me in shape, I'll tell you that. Although you wouldn't never be able to tell if you look at me now. Yeah. Okay, let me put the pepper away. Since all this had in it was some dry risotto, I can put that away, and I can put the risotto away. And wow, just that quick, I've already saved myself some cleaning time. Yep. It's just about the right temp. Can't let it go too quickly. You gotta look slow go on the risotto. Mrs. Old Guy. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have one? Is there hang on, guys.
Greg says, hey, that body is taking years to chisel.
Yeah, well, it's taking years to ruin. Needed my bottle of water. Yummy. That one's a peach.
Yummy.
It's good.
Those are good.
Yeah, they are. All right. Looking good. Another half hour. Should be good to go. And when I get a little closer to that time, I'll get the peach cobbler filling ready, and I'll make the batter for the top. Just want to let that go slow. Give that rice time to spongify. Is that a word? To spongify? Isn't that what pasta does? Starts out hard and gets spongified.
Probably.
I don't think that's really a word. It's not a thing. Such thing.
Greg says he likes the Rocky Horror mugs up there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they were a gift from, I guess, the assistant director.
Yep.
Yeah. She bought everybody in the cast some mugs. So. It was fun. I don't think I'll do it this year. I'll probably, let somebody else do their thing. But that doesn't mean I won't go to watch.
Yeah,
So,
it's a fun time.
it is. It is. I never realized just how fun going to a Rocky Horror Shadowcast. Just how fun it could be, especially when they get an experienced audience in there,
Yeah.
and everybody knows, they got certain things that they yell back at the screen and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It really is. So, oh, and looking out the window just reminded me that we got our first hummingbirds this week.
Yeah.
So just like 2 or 3 days ago,
Yeah.
started seeing them. So the feeders will start coming out more and more.
Yeah.
So
It's only a few right now.
yeah, only a couple feeders out. Once we, gets a little bit warmer and a few more have had a chance to kind of come this way. It's hard to tell how many will get this, in any particular year. It kind of depends on, I guess, their supply of natural food or other places to, because it seems like the drier summers, we tend to really get the most of them. And like 2 or 3 summers ago, it was a really hot, dry summer, and our trees were just full of hummingbirds. We were going through a gallon of sugar water every single day.
Greg says, do the hummingbirds make any noises, bird calls, etc.?
Well, their wings almost chirp when they're flying, so I guess that's why they call them hummingbirds,
Yeah.
because of the noise their wings make. Little hummers.
I'm glad they're here now.
Yeah, me too.
I like seeing them and watching them.
That means that I've got a few months of yay outside before the cold would have drag inside. Just not that fond of winter anymore. Although I will say that if there's something that might happen, hopefully, that I talked to a guy about. There's a friend of mine that has a little restaurant business selling waffles. I forget how to pronounce what kind they are. Leger?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Leger? Anyway, it's a different type of waffle, and the name of his little shop is Crunch Waffle, and they're like a Belgian waffle kind of in size as far as the little squares. So kind of in between, I think, a regular waffle and a Belgian waffle. But we had talked about making a sled that looks like one of these waffles. There's a place, Steamboat Springs, pretty famous ski resort, and every winter they have their cardboard races and cardboard sled races. So we talked about doing one and so forth. Since I got the room to do it, I told him we could kind of collect materials and do it here. So we'll see if that actually happens. So I'm going to collect all summer, hopefully, and then like at the last part of summer, maybe late August, start building the dang thing.
Greg said that hummingbirds are such cool birds, you don't think they get them there in Sydney.
No. Yeah, I have. I wouldn't know because, of course, I've never been to Sydney. But at one time we had planned to move to, I guess, not far from Sydney, Tweed's Head. Is that far from you, Greg? Greg, do you know the town? Tweed's Head, I think, is what it was. Tweed's Head. But didn't work out.
Greg says, oh, well, we do, but they are in central Australia.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe sometime you'll take a trip. I don't know. Looking good. It just takes forever. So fun, so fun. So, I'm already kind of debating with myself, I can do that, as to whether or not I want to, because I always make the sauce and I always make the dough when I'm doing pizza. But there's only been a few times where I've made the cheese too. And yeah, I don't think that's going to be next week.
Greg said Tweed's Head is in Queensland near the Gold Coast. Lovely place.
Yeah. Yeah. We even figured out the area that we would like to stay in and what school that our son would be going to and everything else. But when I came to apply for the work visa, they said I was too old. I was 35.
Greg said Tweed's Head from his place in Sydney is over 8-hour drive. Oh,
Okay. So I guess, yeah, absolutely nowhere near Sydney. Turn that back down.
so it'd be like from us to Las Vegas, right?
Yeah. 800 miles or so. Darn stove. A new one of these is coming up pretty quick. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work very well. It's okay. Works better for some things than others, that's for sure.
Greg said back then we knew you as the young guy in Colorado.
Yeah. Way back when. I'm going to be dead any minute. Another
Ralph is here.
Happy Sunday, Ralph. Even more future than future man. Sometimes this stream can get very futuristic.
Say hi to Mom, Ralph. Since she always likes to say hi to us.
I'm sorry again.
I told Ralph to say hi to Mom since she always likes to say hi to us.
Yep, but she may not be there watching.
She may not be.
So
But you could still tell her. He said,
Okay, you're true. You're absolutely right. I stand corrected.
great. Good morning, my time traveling friend.
Yeah, see, both Ralph and Mr. Greg, it's like they have a magic window. They can look into the past. It's Sunday for them, but they can look into the past and see Saturday. How is that possible? Just, it boggles the mind if you have a mind to boggle. Well, I have a mind to boggle. Yep, this is the fun and thrill of risotto. Alright, well. Now see, I got to admit, I was kind of hoping that mashed potatoes were going to get voted in. Because, for me, mashed potatoes and meatloaf makes more sense than meatloaf and risotto. But that's why I put it up for vote. Rather than me just deciding all the time. You know? Since I'm cooking your meals anyway, might as well let you pick the side and the dessert as well.
Yeah.
That kind of makes it more fun. Sometimes a little more challenging, depending on the case. Do.
Peach cobbler's gonna be yummy.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to make it the worst possible peach cobbler. I'm not even going to use peaches.
Just cobbler.
I'll just use cherry stones. and I'll use sheep dip. And make it a sheep dip cherry stone pie. For those of you that don't know sheep dip, just Google it. I don't feel like trying to explain it.
Greg said Ralph can tell me the lotto numbers. Actually, he is a few hours in front of me. It's 8:47 a.m. for him and 6:47 for me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Sunday.
Ralph is even more into the future than even future men. So
Greg is more into the future.
Greg is more into the future? Well,
Oh, no, wait. 8:47 and 6:47.
well, don't look at me. I didn't make it that time.
It is more into the future. You're
Well, I
right.
know that. Yeah. You were trying to tell me that it weren't. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I know better. He's even more into the future than future man.
Greg said no.
No. Oh, he can't do that. Neither Ralph nor me. Well, we can't because we're in the past, but the ones in the future, like Greg and Ralph, I mean, they can say whatever they want, but they can't. Even if they wanted to, they just wouldn't physically be able to do it because it would totally screw up the space-time continuum. And, you know, reality as we know it would stop. So they're bound by these basic laws and principles that prevent them from ruining it for everybody. So I can't ever look at Greg and say, that's why we don't have nice things. Because he can't screw that up, see?
Ralph said to Drake, what a shame it's not the same lotto drawing. That would be cool. And then Drake says, and then we could do a deal.
Yeah.
Ralph says it's 8:50 Sunday there, where a lot of the daylight savings changes. I've lost track of the time your stream starts. All I know is it's very early.
Yeah.
Carol's here. Sorry I missed a bunch.
Oh, you're all right. Good afternoon, Carol. Hope everything is well down at your house. Is it warm where you're at today?
Drake says, well, we also need a DeLorean working on it.
A DeLorean, huh? Yeah, well, I don't know if it's so much the having the DeLorean or if it's the flux capacitor. Just saying. It might be the flux capacitor. What the heck do I know? You're the one in the future. Oh, and by the way, as far as the missing hair or absence thereof, a couple things. One, it is starting to be summertime, less hair, less hot, and if you look at my logo, if you look at my, I'm pretty hairless, at least on the top.
Drake said both, Marty.
Marty.
First he says, I hear you, Silver Surfer, and then he says both, Marty.
All right. More. It's getting there. It's looking really nice. I guess I'm going to go ahead and start playing. Got a couple peaches here. I put them underneath that just to keep any flies that might be around out of it. I'm just going to put them right into a pan. Peaches. They're not fresh. Of course, it's not that time of year. But okay. So that is a cup of peaches. A couple teaspoons of lemon juice. Okay. A couple of lemon juice.
Ralph says, what I don't get is why the super smart doc tries to get the DeLorean running on alcohol instead of wood gas.
See, that's only people in the future can think of stuff like that, Ralph. I would have never thought of that, ever. See? Maybe you should try and make yourself one. I'm serious. Just get at it. Okay. I don't know if that's possible, but I hope it is for you. All right.
Drake says, now I have had peach cobbler. It was also made the American way by a neighbor who is a New Zealander that lived in America for 20 years.
Ah. Well, very good. So 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, what am I doing?
What?
Glad it was only that little bit right there.
What'd you do?
Put the nutmeg in my risotto.
Oh.
But it's okay, it was all just right there, so. Let's try and not do that again.
Yes.
1/4 teaspoon of 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and let's go with that 1/8 again here. Get that at least partly right. Okay, get a little cornstarch. Cornstarchy. Over here, a couple teaspoons of cornstarch.
And Greg says, compares recipes. By the way, that was a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient.
And Ralph said, good to see you looking a lot better than last spring.
Thank you. Yeah, well, yeah, everybody has their days, and I was a trooper and got through the recording sessions because I wasn't going to let Myers Crossing day go by again. So whether I felt good or not, everything went pretty well.
Jessica's back. She said, sorry, my internet crashed.
Well, welcome back. You got full coverage for that crash? All right. I believe that's the last I'm going to have to add to this. What time is it? Yeah. Turn that down. Let that kind of continue on. Get this over here. Put that on. Turn that down a little low. And
Greg says, the show must go on.
the go must show on. Alright. Get this cobbler part done here. I'm just going to cut these slices up a little bit. Oh boy. These were some frozen peaches that we had. Alright, is that the last one? There we go. Very good, very good. This won't take but a couple of minutes. So, show of hands. Okay, I guess not show of hands. Who prefers to have gravy on their meatloaf? Who prefers to have ketchup or tomato sauce on their meatloaf? Just curious.
Greg says, you must get your shoes on.
My shoes, my bozo shoes, make sure they're properly inflated. Hey Greg, from here, way in the past, I can tell you where you got your shoes. I can tell you where you got your shoes. You got them on your feet.
Just as it says I prefer ketchup on my meatloaf. Also, I just found out that I also like creamy Alfredo on it or Russian dressing.
Okay. Right on.
Greg says this is interesting. Never had meatloaf.
Never had meatloaf, Greg? Is that what he said?
Yep.
Well. Oh, that looks really nice.
There's also nothing on her meatloaf.
Just plain, huh? Just plain, dry meatloaf. All right. I'm going to get a couple things over here. Is there a couple tablespoons left, or do I have to pull out my... Good. I run out of flour so often. Luckily, there's just enough. Alright, just going to get a tablespoon and a half of some flour, and then a half a tablespoon. Is that what it was? A whole tablespoon, sugar. Bang, there's the sugar.
Carol says it's not dry.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Ralph says I prefer Cajun on my broccoli.
He prefers what?
Cajun on his broccoli.
Cajun on his broccoli.
Yep.
You know, you can get put in prison in some states for doing that. Just kidding. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, a quarter teaspoon of baking powder.
Greg says, whoa, my favorite vegetable is broccoli. I'll have to give that a go.
Need some powder. A little bit of salt here. Okay. Get a couple of these things out of my way here. Yeah. Oh, good. That meatloaf is just about ready to come out of the oven. Okay. We'll see here. Gotta put in some Neller. Old Neller. About that much.
And Greg says, ha ha, Tom, nobody puts my broccoli in the corner.
Soda, salt, butter. Nobody did what?
Nobody puts broccoli in the corner.
Puts broccoli in the corner?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anybody that puts broccoli in the corner either. In fact, I didn't even know that was a thing. Broccoli in the corner. Interesting. What did I use that for? Oh, gone. Gotta melt this tablespoon of butter here, so. Gonna get a beep, beep, beep.
Greg, Ralph says, Greg, I've never actually tried it. It was more of a joke because I'm vegetarian and don't eat meatloaf. But I do think it would be nice. And then Greg said Roadhouse reference to this broccoli.
All right, let me pour off some of this extra oil here. Grease, fat, whatever you want to call it. Okay. We'll let this sit for a minute. But I'll show you guys here.
Yep.
meatloaf. Looks good.
It does.
Alright, so we can just finish this here. My butter. And it's just a, where is it now? It's just like a tablespoon or so of milk. Not much. Better grab myself another spoon just to mix it up with here. Okay. Let's see where that's at. Good thing I got just a little bit left. I want that just a little bit thicker. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna make two little individual cobblers. I did butter and sugar these ramekins.
Greg said, FYI, this weekend is Anzac weekend for our fallen comrades. Holiday weekend, in fact, lest we forget.
And that's awesome. Well, I hope it's enjoyable for you. Okay. A spoon. A little bit on each one. Okay, there we go for two. Peach cobbler for two people. Put this into the oven. And that's going to be, set that for,
Greg says Anzac Day is commemorated at or something in Australia, New Zealand, and Tonga.
all right. So, I guess, Mrs. Old Guy, do you have a preference on cheese for your cheesy risotto?
It don't matter. Whatever you grab out is fine.
How about some blue cheese?
That one in, I don't think so.
All right.
I forgot we had that in there.
We got our grater over here.
Greg says Australia and New Zealand Army Corps.
Say that again. Greg said what?
Australian and New Zealand Army Corps is what this
Ah, okay.
weekend is.
So we're gonna just shred in some of this cheddar. That looks good. That looks good. See, I'd have been thinking, but I'm not thinking. I'd have made something else to go with. with all this. Oh. I can at least do a slice of cucumber. Get this out of my way real
I
quick.
don't have any of that balsamic.
No, we gotta get some more. I suppose the peeler's already over there.
Probably in the drainer.
Yep.
Nate, Jim, and Wild Man. Hello, everyone.
Sorry, who? Oh, Tim, Nate, Wild Man. Tim, Nate. Woohoo! Hi, guys. I'm just getting some cheese melted into this risotto. Letting the meatloaf sit for a second. I'm just gonna peel some cucumber, just so Mrs. Old Guy and I have something, at least some kind of veg, right?
Yep. So Ralph says, and his birthday is the day after Anzac Day.
Oh, so that's just coming up then, right?
Yeah. They're all saying hi, Ken.
All right. Okay. Cutting board. Shaved cucumber. Okay, I didn't shave it. Ugh! Let's not do that.
Ralph said yesterday. Well, happy birthday, Ralph.
Yeah, happy birthday. All right, just some cuke quarters. Miss Guy, do you want to go grab the S&P? Almost completely melted. Looks good. All right. Let's get some food plated up. About half of one?
Sure.
Half of that meatloaf?
Probably not that much.
No, I probably not.
Greg says it didn't pop up on my Facebook. Now I know, mate. Sorry for the belated wishes. Yep, same here.
Yeah, it didn't pop up on mine either.
Jessica says, would you ever try a meatloaf sandwich? Ralph must, or he must not have it listed on his Facebook page.
Well, have I ever had a meatloaf sandwich? That's a big yes. It's a very great big honking yes. I've had hundreds of meatloaf sandwiches.
Eli says, is the cobbler a la mode?
No, it's not, unfortunately. And how's it going? Happy Saturday. It is not a la mode, unfortunately. All right, there's the risotto.
Ralph said, thanks. Mom made my favorite cake, which we nicknamed the burnt hockey pokey cake. But it tasted based on the taste. Hockey. That's funny.
Okay, a couple of cucumbers. Bang.
Hope you had a good day, Ralph.
Yeah, really, I hope you enjoyed your birthday. I hope I don't have to dig through this whole thing.
For ketchup?
Yes. Yay! Right there where I could see it. Woohoo! All right.
Greg says, "Oh well, what is Alamode cobbler?"
It's a cobbler of any kind with ice cream.
Looks good.
Okay. See? There you go.
Thank you.
Yep. Welcome. I'm going to just do this real quick so I don't have to stand back up. A little salt, a little pepper on all this. I'm a pepper freak. I love black pepper. All right. I'll let you grab those, Mrs. Old Guy.
Ralph says he might have changed it a while back because if you have that, then everybody has his full name and date of birth that you use.
Okay. Oh, that feels really good to sit down. Okay, risotto and meatloaf. A little over an hour. That's not too bad.
No.
First thing I'm going to do is dive into this risotto and just see if it's anywhere near as light and creamy as it looks. That's pretty dang good.
It is.
Mm-hmm. It's got a real nice texture to it. All right. Just like always, you dump some ketchup on my loaf.
Greg said finally the chef can rest and enjoy.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Mm-hmm. I do have some heavy cream that I can put on top of that peach cobbler, so it's not quite ice cream, but it is cream.
Greg says, "Oh, okay, so it's ketchup."
Mm-hmm. Although there is a tomato sauce that's made with other spices, and it's not ketchup for meatloaf.
And meatloaf is very good with gravy too, though.
Oh yeah.
Jessica said she just had herself a cheeseburger.
Nice. I love cheeseburgers. Summer months, that our grill gets used a lot.
Ralph says no worries about the birthday thing, and he says I don't really do birthdays anyway. Really, they should be called birth anniversaries.
I think they don't, just because it's too long to say. I mean, think of the song "Happy Birthday." You know, if you change it from one syllable word to a 4-syllable word, is that? Anyway, that's just the way I think. So far, so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I did think about doing my stream outside today, but it would not have worked because I had to make risotto. But I thought about starting the meatloaf much earlier and wrapping it in bacon
Yeah.
and putting it out on the smoker for 4 or 5 hours, but there's no way I'd have been able to make risotto. So maybe
The image says, that looks good. I just got done eating Chinese pork fried rice takeout.
oh, that sounds good. I love Chinese food. In fact, having eaten in 2 of the bigger Chinatowns in the country, I guess, the one in Los Angeles and the one in San Francisco,
Yeah.
there's a decent difference between between really traditional Chinese food and the American Chinese food like we get, which is what you get at most Chinese restaurants. Some not, but some are a little more authentic. But both times, both Chinatowns had really, really good food.
Yeah, they did.
And very reasonably cost. I will have to admit too, they're, for what you get, it was a pretty fair price.
Greg said his favorite birthday song was a Happy Birthday by Stevie Wonder.
Okay. I'd like, well, let's see, of course the Beatles, but Jimi Hendrix did a birthday song. And if you've ever seen the TV show with Drew Carey, Whose Line Is It Anyway? They also have a birthday song. So now see this with the cheese in there.
That's good.
Tomorrow when I fry this up for a meatloaf sandwich, those little bits of cheese are going to get nice and crispy and crunchy. Yum.
Yeah, Eli says OG's favorite oyster fried rice.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I will eat oysters. I just won't eat them raw. I don't like them raw. Now, I've had fried oysters that were delicious. I've had oyster stew hundreds of times. But raw oysters, I just never have liked them. They make me gag every single time.
Greg says, oh wow, Jimmy did a birthday song? Looking that up.
Yep, he did.
Eli said Marilyn Monroe, happy birthday song. Hello.
Yep. We got this timed pretty well. These dessert will be coming out of the oven here pretty quickly. And it'll have time to cool a little bit while we're finishing with dinner. And the time is good. We still got about 35 minutes.
Cool. Marilyn Monroe saying happy birthday, Lisa said.
She did.
Greg says, Eli, oh yes, Mr. President.
Yep. That's right. That is a fact. Yep.
And Blinky.
Blinky. Well,
That's the funny one.
yeah, there was a. I think he was only in Denver, in Colorado, but
I know.
as a kid, and for a fact, for a lot of kids, for many generations, 2 or 3 anyway, Blinky the Clown in Denver had a kids show, and he had his birthday song. They did it live for many years, and then they went to taping it. There was a couple of incidents with a couple of the kids that, you know. There was.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Greg said, I'm so happy the risotto was a success. Probably the hardest thing to cook tonight, huh? Yeah? That's what he says?
The biggest pain in the butt. And you can definitely overdo it. Undercooked and overcooked. Wow, those looked absolutely perfect.
Cool. Greg says, what was the whose line is it anywhere once again?
Whose line is it? Or whose line was it? Or no, whose line is it, I think. With Drew Carey. And you can just search their birthday song.
Eli says, I want to see Chuckles' birthday song.
Chuckles?
I mean, Pops Off.
Pops off? There are just certain things that pops off shouldn't be allowed to do. One of them is live streaming. Pops Off doesn't have nearly the, I don't know, the reservation to not be inappropriate. I don't think he's not capable. I don't think he's really capable of it. So. Chew up that rabbit food. I believe this week, meaning this coming week, it will be a new George and Pudgy episode. Then the following week will be the start of the next Mason series. Mason Jennings. I'm going to try to keep the stories down to about 3 episodes long. George and Pudgy have had a couple long ones. Well, the Hunting We Will Go was 7 parts. And by the time we're done with the World Series, it'll be close to probably 15 or 18 episodes.
Quite a few.
It is.
So Eli said Pops Off and the Count are the duo we need. Oh.
I'd really like to do that. Well, I mean, we did do that on the live, but it would be nice to do with him in person.
Greg laughed and said a 5-second birthday song. Love it.
Yep. For those of you who haven't heard it, we just kind of go, "This is your birthday song. It isn't very long."
Lisa says, "Hey Tom, how did you like the Little Rascals cake?" Oh.
Little Rascals cake. I'm assuming there's some kind of punchline or something to this because I don't know what that is.
Ralph says, "I haven't seen any drink reviews on your channel lately, but would be keen to see some reviews of drinks that you make by adding water, like syrups and powders. Not sure if you like them."
Not usually. I don't drink or buy powdered beverages. On occasion, I do. Like there's this stuff called Crystal Light. And it's a little package of powder. I bought a bunch of them because they were they were closing them out, so they were really cheap. So I bought what they had. Every now and then we drink it.
Yeah.
But I really like them for their container. They come in these boxes, which after you're done with them, pull the label off, they work great for spices, especially ones that you use a lot of.
Greg says, "Love that show, by the way. Whose line is it? Great show."
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's... Go ahead.
And then he says, "I heard a moo."
Huh? Yep.
Falling under the table.
How was your dinner?
It was yummy.
Did I give you too much?
No, just about right.
Awesome.
Ralph says, ask Greg, "Do you watch Thank God You're Here?"
I don't think I've ever heard of that one. It must be something from their part of the world.
Must be. Eli says, "A thrashed apple margarita."
Through the thrashed apple margarita. That might be all right. I mean, I'm not into liquor too much, but that doesn't sound really too bad.
Greg's heard of that show because he says it was a great show.
What show?
Thank God You're Here.
Oh. Like I'm saying, that maybe that's just one that's in their part of the world.
Yeah. Ralph said that they've got a nice syrup brand here called Barker's.
And do you just add water?
Eli says, "I just scored on like $60 worth of white wine for like $5.
What did he get?
About $60 worth of white wine.
White
for
wine.
$5.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Wasn't in a big box, was it?
Greg says it's a variant of Whose Line Is It Anyway, but more props, etc. are set.
Right on. Well, that was a really good dinner. I will mention it again. At long last, the first episode of Myers Crossing is now on the Old Guy radio players. I'd like everybody to go watch it or listen to it. Not much to watch.
Ralph told Greg that he's only watched a few bits and pieces in here. Bits and pieces. But his mom really likes it.
The show?
Yeah.
All right.
Greg said the tag is the actor knocks on the door, and they said an ad lib in when they answer the door, the show starts.
Gotcha. All right. It's still kind of hot on the bottom, so there's that cobbler.
Back over here. Yeah, that looks good.
Cobble.
Eli said they were getting rid of the old stock, so he bought the whole rack for like 50 cents a piece.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Are you gonna? You said that was white wine? Is that what he said? White wine?
Yes.
That's a heck of a deal. I use white wine in cooking quite a bit.
Yeah.
I brought it up, but I didn't give you none.
Uh-oh.
Pour some heavy cream on that. Say when.
When? Thank you.
Yep. She actually said when, because she knew I'd just keep pouring it until she did say it.
Greg said, yes, please, give the Myers Crossing a watch. I recommend using headphones or buds to listen to the absolutely wonderful editing by Tom. And
Thank
Eli
you.
says, now just need some white wine recipes.
I'll give you one for dessert, for a dessert topping. It was super easy. Take you a full bottle's worth, however whatever, a quart or half a quart, whatever. I don't remember what the bottle is, but and let it reduce by, well, I don't know, almost completely until it's thick and syrupy, just like it is. And then add in just a little bit of cinnamon. And then depending on what you want to go for, you can add, clove, or if you want, or nutmeg instead. And it makes a really good topping for like cheesecakes and other types of dessert. Ice cream, it's really good.
Drake says, cobble.
See, a cobbler can also be the guy that makes shoes, right?
Yeah. Kim says, peach cobbler warmed up with some vanilla ice cream is my favorite.
Well, this is probably pretty close to it. Just the ice cream is completely melted.
This is still really warm. Eli said that he got this at the store right as they put it out. Perfect timing.
Oh, nice. Yep, that's the time to do it. I think the bottle of white wine that I got now was also on sale, but it wasn't as cheap as that. But it was still pretty cheap, like $3 for a bottle of grocery store wine. So, or $3 or $2.50, something like that. It might have been 2 for $5. I don't know. We're around there. white wine is also really good in a whole bunch of different sautéed items. And again, you splash it in and reduce it out to where it's almost completely gone.
Greg, I would do that, but I'm not sure how to do it on this computer on his channel because it's different than what.
Do
mine
what?
is. Put a link to that.
To Myers Crossing?
Yes. He says, and everyone, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and stream.
Try doing it from mine, because that's what's on right now. We'll see. I have the old guy radio players logged in on my other computer so that maybe count as another viewer. But I don't know if it'll let her post the link. Gonna find out here pretty quick.
I don't see it up, but
What do you mean?
I'll find it.
Woo! That was a hot bite. Really good though. I'm glad I didn't put in the clove. I don't think it needed it. It's good just like it is. See that dangling there? Yum, yum, yum. Is he gonna let you?
Yep, I'm just getting to it, so hang on just 1 second. The promo?
No, not the promo.
Okay.
You're probably on shorts if you're looking at a promo. Maybe not, but it says it says Myers Crossing, the beginning.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Really yummy. And this water I'm drinking is peach flavor, so everything's just peachy.
But it didn't come up over here. So I did post it, but it didn't come up over here.
Okay. Yeah.
Go to.
Hey, Jeff. Happy Saturday. Hope everything is well in your world. We're just getting finished up. Got a few more minutes. We had some meatloaf with some cheesy risotto. And we're just now finishing up our delicious little individual cobblers here. Peach, that is. Hope everything is good.
Eli said that he might make that tomorrow. He'll have to buy the cheesecake though.
Oh, the dessert wine?
Yeah.
Or the dessert sauce.
Jeff said that him and his son just got back from fishing. No fish, just a great time with son.
Awesome. That's great. Eli, just as another direction, you can kind of take that white wine instead of going with cinnamon or nutmeg or any of that. I'll splash in some lemon juice, and that'll kind of take it kind of off in the into the more tart realm, which is really good to also. So, just mentioning it.
Great. The thing is, he's got it set to where nobody can put in links and that kind of stuff except for him. On the stream, I guess, because
Here.
it wouldn't allow you to do it. So
Hang on a minute, guys. I'm going to be gone from view for a minute, so. But hang on tight.
New Image says, I've been here hanging out. Ice cream sounds so good.
Keep talking to him.
Ralph said it's something, some FEIJOA season here again, and we took a big bag full of our Japanese neighbor who said he's going to try to make, he's going to try making some with him on the holiday back to Japan. It's about $5 per fruit here or there.
Did that go through?
It did come through. We've been having a habit of going to get soft serve ice cream in town. They got really good banana ice cream.
It's actually a flavor swirl. That's in the ice cream machine. It like injects the whatever flavor you want into the ice cream as it comes out, so it leaves that colored ribbon on the swirled top of the ice cream. It's actually pretty cool. Lots of different flavors.
Well,
Yep. Banana one is the one we always get, though. Well, no, Mrs. Old Guy tried the strawberry one.
mm-hmm.
So
It was very good too.
So there is the link to the first episode of Myers Crossing.
How come it didn't let me pull that?
Because I went to, because this is Old Guy's stream, I had to go
Okay.
Old Guy's channel and then look it up. And okay, so, but there you go. All set. And like I said, George and Pudgy coming up this week, this coming week, and the following week, the new Mason Jennings. So.
Eli says he wonders if there's a banana sparkling water.
A banana sparkling water. It's too bad there's not. Yeah, I guess it's just too bad that you can't juice a banana. It's been tried.
Eli said that Dairy Queen has one of his favorites. Is this one of his favorite fast food burgers?
Dairy Queen? Yeah. Yeah, the Brazier Burger. You bet. I wish they had some on this side of the state here. But all of the Dairy Queens on this side of Colorado are either only ice cream or they only sell the fish and chicken French fries. They don't serve the burgers. It's kind of disappointing because I like a good Brazier burger as well. I think that's why I go to Burger King, just because I like that flame broil.
Yeah.
Speaking of flame broiling, last, what was it, 3 nights or 4 nights ago when Myers Crossing premiered, I flame broiled some really, really good New York strips over some cherry wood, and oh man,
it was good.
they were good steak. Oh,
Ralph said that fruit that he was just talking about is, you slice it in half and you scoop it out scoop out the middle. That makes a great fruit crumble.
Interesting.
And that ice cream is at Berg Harvest, Carol.
Yep, Berg Harvest. Yep. And it's not too bad for, I guess a decent sized cone. It's like $3.
$3. Joshua's here.
Joshua, happy Saturday. Oh, hey, it's getting close enough time
Yep.
where I'm going to go ahead and draw a second time. Since I forgot to last week, it's a double draw this week. For those of you that weren't here or aren't aware, that next week it will be pizza. And I guess it's going to be feta and spinach. At least on one of them. I might make more than one. Okay.
That cobbler was really good.
Thank you. Did I drop one? I could swear I saw one fell out. Guess not. That one. All right. Whoop. Put that back. So week after next. Next week is pizza. Week after that. It's from McKinsey. And I believe it's, related to Tim. Yeah. And it's going to be a Big Mac Whopper. And so I would imagine that means a double burger with the center bun, but the Whopper is flame broiled. So that might be actually a good one to do outside. So I'll have to keep that in mind for the side dishes and stuff.
Yep.
I'll try and plan that one for outside. We've had folks asking to do a live stream outside for a while, so.
Yep. So Tim or Lisa or somebody can tell Mackenzie that.
Yep. The Big Mac Whopper coming up in 2 weeks. So Mrs. Old Guy does write that down in a little notebook,
Yep.
which is going to have to get replaced here pretty soon.
Yep.
Because it's, we were originally using that for writing down the requested meals and then just going through and trying to, randomly pick one. But then we decided to do this. Well, actually, it was a spinning wheel for those of you that have been around long enough. And then I moved to the basket, and that seems to be working the best so far,
Eli says, I like how Mackenzie thinks, LOL.
A Big Mac Whopper. Yep.
And Eli says some animal fires with that.
Animal fires?
That's what he said. Some animal fires with that.
I don't know what animal fires are. You mean flame broiled meat? Animal fire?
Joshua says, did we already eat? Was it good?
Yeah, we had meatloaf tonight. It was delicious. Meatloaf and cheesy risotto. And we're just hanging out for the last, we got about 7 or 8 minutes or so. So.
Tim says, all right, I will. I'll let her know. She loves Big Macs.
Well, we'll see how far I go.
Eli said,
Ooh, hummingbird.
animal fries, LOL.
Animal fries. Yeah, well, they got them, right? You go to Burger King and get chicken fries. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Breaded chicken in the shape of a French fry. Chopped and formed garbage. Just like I was telling Tim he reviewed, in fact, you guys should go check it out. Him and Nate reviewed the new chicken tenders at McDonald's. And I made the comment that I was glad that they, called them tenders and not fingers. Because, chickens don't have fingers. I don't care how you cut it up. Tenders, yeah. Okay, the true tenders are that is that muscle that's underneath the breast, but attached just up underneath. That's the tender. But what do you know? We went to KFC, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. There's one in this town not far from us that still offer the Kentucky Fried Steak. And I can remember going and getting their Kentucky Fried Steak sandwich, and I loved them. And when I heard that they had it, it's like, oh, great. Well, we're going to be there on Wednesday because that's the only day they do it. And it was a day we were going to be there. So I made a special point of driving to that particular location. And no matter how I talked to the guy, he wasn't going to put it on a sandwich for me.
No.
You have to get it as the meal.
The dinner. It's like
I don't want it that way. But I guess it's not Burger King. They won't give it to you the way you want.
Eli says, I wish McDonald's had animal-style fries. I only go there for fries, but In-N-Out's fries are not good.
In-N-Out fries. I've only been to the In-N-Out burger, I think, once. And that's when Mrs. Old Guy and I were on our way back from California. We stopped at the one in Las Vegas, or one of them in Las Vegas. I think there's two, but we got burger and fries. I didn't think that. Fries were okay. I didn't think they were not good, but then again, I didn't think they were something special either. Just a common fry, nothing fancy, nothing nothing to write home about. But it's a fry. But I've only eaten there once, so.
Craig laughed at Eli, or told Eli, you and your McKinsey TikTok. And he says, Eli, watch a chicken cry McKinsey. Oh, just watch the chicken cry McKinsey.
So yeah, 2 weeks. And you know what? I think I might make that week one where I just decide what I'm going to do for the side and the dessert. Rather than me try to figure out, several things, like the 3 desserts and the 3 sides that I could easily and quickly make outside. I think I'm just going to choose that for myself. But the burgers will, that's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
If it's a Whopper, then it's going to have to be cooked outside. It's got to be flame broiled.
Eli said that he would love to see you go to Heart Attack Grill.
I wouldn't. We did stop there when we went to Vegas last time, and they not only was it really, really insanely busy, but I just have a hard time paying that much for a hamburger. It's just all there is to it. If I'm gonna pay $18 or something for a hamburger, well, I'm going to want it to be in a decent place that's, you can sit down and get some decent service, that being in an overcrowded burger place is just, you're not going to get that. So, yeah, no, I haven't tried it. Same thing with White Castle. I thought, hey, while we're here, let's try White Castle. And not only were they outrageously expensive, but it would have taken us well over an hour to get through the line. It's I'm hungry now, not in, I'll be hungry in an hour if I wait here. We just hopped in the car and I think drove down to a McDonald's or think maybe might have been Taco Bell that time.
Yeah, I don't remember. Joshua wants to know how the weather's been.
It's been nice. It's been nice. How about you? Getting into the 80s and so, 80 degrees or so now. It's been in the 70s, 60s, you know. Had a cooler day with a little bit of rain.
Greg says, I think that should be a Valentino collab.
Well, yeah, man. We'll see about that.
Heart attack, girl.
All right, well, I think the magic chime has dinged, and we're going to call it good for this week. As always, I'm going to ask you guys to please go back and give in your community, all right? Give back some way, okay? Even, you know, I mean, like, if you could help sort some clothes at a clothing bank, or help them sort through some canned food or something at a food bank. Just anything to give back in your local community somehow, okay? And in the meantime, I'll see you guys next Saturday. Goodbye.
So Greg says in Aussie, you're paying $20 plus and